All Sports Media, the Wednesday Sports Talk Show, hosted by yours truly, Edward Hall, and co-hosted by me alongside Olivia Fusion that has become a regular on their show now. So I think that she is, uh, we're going to call her a norm now since she's with us full time now. But Olivia, how's it going?
Pretty good. Um, I went golfing with my dad over the weekend, and I figured out that our school has a golf team, so I might get on that, which could be exciting because I'm not too good, but I'd like to be better so I could beat my dad when I go golfing with him.
Well, I can let you in some inside information on that if you need it. There where I work at the garage. I don't know if any of the golf team members has told you, but they've got a golf whatever, a virtual reality, a golf simulator deal on the top of the
Mm.
garage. Yeah, they got a whole screen that lights up. Yeah, a lot of golf
They
members go up there and hit around all the time.
Yeah, they had one of those at like an axe throwing place I went to for a friend's birthday party one time. Those are really fun, like messing around with those.
And I figured out how hard it was to hit a golf ball by doing that on that simulator because I think the longest hit I got was for like 50 yards.
Yeah, it's you gotta put a lot of effort and technique into it. Like you gotta keep your arms straight. You can't bend your wrists none. You gotta keep your eye on the ball the whole time when you swing. I swear when I went golfing this past weekend, I missed like 6 or 7 times before I actually hit the ball.
Well, Edward would miss it every time. I can tell you that right now. Edward, are you with us?
Listen, I don't miss it. I got the Happy Gilmore approach.
So what's your hardest hit, Olivia? I mean, can you knock it like 200 or 300 yards if you get a hold of one?
uh, I don't not probably that far. My biggest problem though is I'm decent if I can hit it, I'm good at driving it and I'm good at putting and stuff. But after I hit it the first time and it's in the fairway, it's game over for me. That's the only reason that I haven't beat my dad the couple times we've went because I'll just like hit it down the fairway and keep hitting it down the fairway because I can't get a hold of it. I can't hit it right and it kind of just goes up a little bit and then I'll have to keep hitting it and hitting it. It's just annoying. But it's fun though. It's not it's like you get aggravated at it, but once you learn how to do it and you're just talking the whole time and hanging out, it's fun. I mean, it gets frustrating sometimes when you can't get a hold of it and you make it go anywhere, but it's a fun pastime activity to do.
Are you back with us, Edward? You did the Sharon
Yeah,
and Karen.
yep. Well, I'm gonna give you a fun fact. This one time me and Mark were playing golf. I hit it about 500 feet, but it was also on hot shot golf. I don't know if you remember that game back when we was younger.
Oh yeah, we used to play it all the time. That's probably a little bit before Olivia's time, though. PlayStation, Hot Shots, golf. I don't probably a little bit before your time.
Probably.
At least she's truthful, folks. But if I know Olivia, she said she was wanting to meet her dad. So knowing her, 12 o'clock every night, she's gonna be sneaking out her door, out there hitting golf balls out there in her yard. She'll get herself ready for it. Yeah, see, she ain't denied it. She ain't denied it.
So we're going to start this one off a little bit different while we're waiting on the guest to log on. I actually today I got a parent reached out to me, and to me this is some pretty big news. This is a guest we had on from track, but Mark, you might remember this guest. So Maddie Middleton won the SEKC High Jump Championship. So she is the SEKC High Jump Champion.
Well, congratulations, Maddie.
Yeah, nice job.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
So that gives us a reason to bring her back on and asked if she, hit anybody with the like a stick or anything.
Well, I might just try to reach out to her Sunday because that deserves another few minutes on the show for sure. That's great. Congratulations, Maddie. If you're watching, or your family's watching, you killed it. Congratulations. So go get it.
Absolutely, congratulations. I mean, anytime you can win anything, but to be the you know first place, number one, win the whole thing, that's amazing itself. And again, I
So
want to thank the parent for reaching out to me and asking me if I would put something together for her and allowing me to know all that. So I want to thank Maddie's parents for reaching out to me too.
um, Olivia, your mom was a state. Was it in high jump or what was it exactly?
I think she went to state for track. I don't know if she placed or not. She told me that she went to state, but she didn't say that she placed. I'll have to ask her about it.
Yeah.
But
So,
I,
but when we're talking to SEKC, is that the final event? Is that the state championship, or is that a regional thing, or is that the final it? Or
That'd be a good thing for one of our guests to comment and let us know because I am not for sure about
yeah,
that.
I have no idea.
yeah, yeah. I was hoping Olivia could answer that one, but
No.
that's still an honor.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So today, instead of ending with this, we're going to begin with it. It is the top five must see. So I'm gonna let you all choose. You want to start with baseball or softball?
You choose,
Olivia,
Mark.
I'll go. I'll follow Olivia's footsteps. She said baseball first last week, so let's go baseball first this week.
So your Bryant Family Medicine All Sports Media top five must see is Cole from Taylor County, and yes, you're saying that right, with a .16 ERA. Then number two is Anderson Smith from Bullitt Central with 48 RBIs. Then you got Will from South Laurel with a .83 ERA. EJ Allen from Whitley County with a .71 ERA, and Joseph from Bell County with a .31 ERA.
Olivia, you got any comments about this?
Great job, everybody up there. I've been wanting to go to a baseball game so bad. I love watching baseball, but I never can get to go see one.
Well, when you go and cover one, I'd like to see you do your first live interview and stuff like that. I believe you'd be really, really good at it. So it'd be fun to see you. But
Yeah.
on the stats there, Edward, I think I ask you the same question every week. Well, I keep seeing EJ Allen on there. I keep thinking Whitley County. I think you said he might have dropped, but I know they had been number one in team ERA all year. I think you said he dropped some, but he's a big reason why. But my goodness, the .16 is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Just nah, I can't even. I have no words to put to that other than ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think it's 9 or 10 games that this young man has pitched. So, it ain't like he's only pitched one game and then set. He's pitched throughout the season and, took his rest that is required after you reach your 125 pitches. But, you know, the, I care less, what teams you're playing to be able to .16 ERA. You're just shutting out everybody you're pitching again. But some of them we've got to see firsthand. A few of them is me doing a lot of research. But now we're going to move on to the softball side of town. So your Bryant Family Medicine All Sports Media top five must see is Macy from Rockcastle with 21 RBIs and 5 home runs. You got Brooklyn from North Hardin with 281 strikeouts, which is number one in the state as of right now, and 33 RBIs. You got Emma Carl from North Laurel with 114 strikeouts and 12 home runs. You got Layla Ogden from South Laurel from South Warren with 56 RBIs and 17 home runs. You got Annie Newman from Davis County with 41 RBIs and 13 home runs.
Olivia.
What that cut out? What'd you say?
Libby, you having comments about this?
Same as the baseball. Everybody's just doing such a great job. I'm
Yeah,
I'm good. I'm so glad to see that these boys and girls are putting so much effort making good stats for softball and baseball.
yeah. Some of these stats, Olivia, I'm sure you would agree with me, are just point blank ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna go with Pim McCarl and Edward. You know firsthand how high I am on the Jags. I'm still high on them. Regardless of what comes out of the Jags season, and I'm not automatically placing them as their region champ. But whoever comes out of our region this year is going to have. It's like the Rocky Balboa story. They're going to meet
yeah. They're gonna
Apollo
have
Creed.
competition.
Yeah, you're going to have Apollo Creed in the first round, then you're going to have Mr. T in the second round. I mean, you're going to have to do. Yeah, they're hitting a brick wall, and that the draw really worked hard against the 13th region this year. But
Yeah,
uh, like Layla, I know you covered South Florida quite a bit, Edward. Wow, 17 home runs, 56 RBIs. Just these stats are ridiculous, Edward.
I'll have to agree with you. Anytime that you're getting 17 home runs in a single season, that is phenomenal. I don't think I could have got 17 home runs if I would have played 15 years.
No, no. Livy, didn't you say you played softball for a while
yeah.
or something?
Once upon a time ago, dude. I swear it was so. It was really fun and softball and mom probably won't want me to because it's a bunch of running around. But wrestling and softball are two different season sports. And a bunch of my friends play softball and I like softball. Like I couldn't hit for nothing. But it was really fun. All the atmosphere in softball is just about the same in wrestling. It's really good. Everybody's always got everybody's back. I'd like to play again, but
Yeah.
I'd have to figure that out.
There's a lot of changeover right now in Whitley County as far as some
Yeah,
coaching changes. So
yeah,
it's interesting on how a lot of this is going to shake out. I know that I believe that there's a softball opening now, and now also I think they just recently hired a girls basketball coach down there. Wish him the best of luck, and it just I'm just telling you, a lot of changeover right now. So Whitley County sports is it's just it's like a wait and see. Let's just see how all this plays out for 'em. And I know you, of course, you're in with wrestling. You're also in with boxing. So, and you're also now talking about golf. So,
yeah.
when you want to rest?
There's not enough time in the world to rest, Mark. You always gotta make yourself better. Always gotta try to keep going. Do the best you can do while you're still here.
Yeah, Mark, you need to listen to what Olivia's saying.
Well, I figured you would teach her all about rest.
Well, listen, I'm not the one that rests. Now, while we're waiting on our first guest to log on, I actually went out and covered some softball action yesterday. It was Millsboro versus Bell County softball, and we got hit with a pretty good little bit of rain. And that perks to having a turf field. I'm guessing they
Yeah, I'd
still
say it makes
played
it.
while it was raining.
I'd say that the rain makes that turf slippery though because it's not. It's like plastic, ain't it? It's some sort of like something. I mean, they got cleats, but like still.
Well, that from what they told me is it seemed like it slowed it down just a little bit, which I'm assuming that's where it was packing in some water, and the softball didn't have that extra spring to it like normal.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I know it's like on the bus trips, you get a lot of them pellets like that comes off their shoes. I don't know what the world that. I think that's the plastic that Livy you might be talking about. The little black pellets that
Yeah,
I don't.
those was getting your shoes real bad. When you're on that turf, we would go outside on the football field for gym class, and I'd come back in and shake all that stuff out of my shoes, and there'd just be a big pile of it.
Well, what is that?
I don't know. I think it's just like it kind of looks like tire. Like if you go to like a playground and there's a bunch of pieces of tire everywhere where they've like chopped it up. I think that's what it is. I could be wrong, but it's
Ever,
what it looks like.
ever, do you know what that is? That was it. I don't either.
I have no idea, but our
Maybe,
first guest is on and ready. So you ready?
we're ready.
Ready?
Hi.
Well, hello. Well, first off, thank you for taking the time to come on and educate us a little bit more about tennis.
No problem at all. I'm glad to be here.
So I'm gonna ask you, your thoughts on how your season went.
I think my season went pretty good, actually. I won more games than I lost.
It's always
Like,
good when you win more than you lose. I agree with you on that.
but Mark, Olivia, whichever one of you wants to go first.
Olivia.
Do you have like a biggest, proudest tennis moment from this year? Like,
Yes. Bell, they're like a really good school. I played their first seed and I lost the first time, but the second time we played them, I played their second seed and I beat her. So that was my proudest moment.
how far like when she beat you the first time? Was it like the score were their scores
Mm.
like big difference, or was it kind of close, or?
There was a big difference.
But the second time you beat her though, right? It was a big difference on your behalf the second
Well,
time.
the first time I played the first seed, the second time I played the second seed. There was a big difference during the second seed, though.
All right.
Is it? Help me. I'm bad with names. Is it Taylor?
Yes, Talon.
Oh, okay, Taylor. Okay. Gotta ask you right off the bat. This has nothing to do with tennis, but we're trying to figure it out. Maybe you could help us out. On these turf fields, when you're walking around, you have all them little pellets on the bottom of your shoes. What is that? You know,
What do you mean?
like the stuff that comes off your shoes, like the little pellets when you walk on turf, like a turf
The
football
little black.
field, or yeah,
Isn't that like rubber?
That's what I was saying. Like,
Yeah.
that's what Olivia would say, like rubber. So why would they put rubber on turf?
Maybe to like bounce it up a little bit.
It gives it that extra bounce, gives it that little
Yeah.
pep in its step.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, little. Okay, see, we'll figure it out.
What that morning coffee does for you, Mark. It gives you that pep in your step.
Yeah, like dad fuel. Okay, okay. Gotta ask you this, and this is a tennis question. Again, you're here to educate us. Do you play in the rain? Or
Uh, we can't really play in the rain because our courts get all slick. But if it starts like sprinkling, we'll just play our game through. We're tougher than that.
I have no idea what's going on at my house, but I'm getting like a humming, bass humming or something out of my boy's room. I don't know what he's doing in there. But Edward was talking to asking you about your season, and Olivia was talked a little bit about it too. Just for people that don't follow the sport as closely as they should. If you don't care, just tell the audience a little bit about yourself. You know who you are, what grade you're in, and just you play other sports and just stuff like that. Just introduce yourself.
Okay. Well, I'm Taylor Ayers. I'm currently in 11th grade. Next year I'll be in 12th, obviously. But I do JROTC. That's not really a sport, but it's active. Uh, Other clubs I'm in is the National Honor Society, Beta Club, Talent Search, and I am in student council.
So, well, ROTC is probably a sport because I know I've had some kids in ROTC. I know one was in endurance and did a lot of running. Another one was like in marksmanship.
Yeah,
And
it
then, of
gets
course, yeah, I had my middle boy there. He bragged about how good he was on the tug team, So I think all my kids went to it. But so basically, is it just tennis that you're sticking to, or the other sports you would consider?
I consider volleyball, but this year I think I might just focus on advancing my tennis game.
Um, have they been schools that have reached out to you yet, or has it got to that point yet that they can? Or
Mm, not yet. Mm-mm.
is that something that you would definitely consider next day to play college tennis?
Definitely. I've wanted to play in college since my freshman year. That's when I found out I love tennis.
I agree with April right here. Absolutely, JROTC should be a sport, especially absolutely.
Mm.
The endurance, the marksmanship, the tug of war is a sport. Uh, Olivia help me or Edward help me if I'm missing some that could absolutely be sport that they do. I know I'm missing some here, but there's
Uh,
several.
yeah, I forgot what it's called. One of my friends do it. Ah, my mind's blank.
Yeah, mine is too. But there's several events. Yes, ROTC should definitely be a sport. I guess it is. I guess it's considered a sport, but I mean, you do compete against other schools. Archery, yeah, archery, of course. And yeah, they're just stuff. I mean, my boy would run for miles and that stuff. I couldn't do it, but back to tennis and stuff. And are they? Like you got somebody serves it, you return the serve. I mean, where do you feel like you've got your most power? Is it from the forehand, or would you like a backhand? So, I mean, what brings up the most power from you?
I feel like my forehand is a good forehand, but I feel like my strongest is my backhand when it goes over the net.
So, I mean, what do you do to keep your body in shape? Because, I mean, we've all watched tennis, and you know this sport inside down much better than me. I've just watched it and stuff like that. A lot of back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. I mean, how do you keep your body in shape to do that?
All right, well, first, tennis is really like a core sport. So you want to do like a lot of sit-ups and workouts that will like strengthen your core. But your arms are like important too, obviously. So you'll want to do like push-ups, bench presses, whatever you get muscle in your arm with.
Okay, one more that I'll let Edward. We found this out last week, so I listened a little bit. But if I'm right, most of the games that you play, you're basically your own umps. Am I right? Refs. So, how tempting is it if it's 40-40 tied last set? Do you play the like best of five? Am I, or
Uh,
is it best of
Close. We
three?
play best of six unless we play pro sets, and we play best of eight.
Okay, so you're in the last set and last points, and how tempting would it be? I'm not trying to applaud your character or anything, but just as an athlete, how tempting would it be? And I'm not judging you personally, but how hard would it be to say that ball's in, knowing that it was probably out?
Well, personally, I hate cheaters, so I would never do that. I've been cheated so many times.
So it's happened to you.
Yes,
Okay,
it's happened to me
okay,
so many times.
okay, okay,
So I'm sure it's like very tempting.
okay. Well, at least you're honest. I would be the one that would call every one of them out. I just would.
He would, trust me.
Edward.
So I gotta ask you: has there ever been a game where you broke your tennis racket or anything?
There have been multiple occasions where I wanted to, but I would never because it's really expensive.
So you haven't been in the middle, like the net or anything on it, like break from hitting the tennis ball back and forth so much.
Oh, my strings? I did break my
Yes.
strings once, yes. It was pretty cool, honestly.
So what did you do once you broke it? Did you turn around like flex on everybody, or
Obviously. I was like, boom, I broke them, you didn't.
absolutely? So I know the other tennis player we had on. They said they play singles and doubles. So do you do the same, or is there other ones in tennis that you
Mm,
play, or
you can, like, choose not to play doubles, but I do play doubles.
so which one do you like more? Do you like doing like the single or the doubles, or
Singles is fun, but in my personal opinion, I like doubles because you got, like, a teammate out there and you know they got your back.
so have you ever had a time you want to throw your racket at your teammate?
Oh, yes. Definitely.
See,
I didn't know.
that would be like if it was me and Mark. It would accidentally slip out of my hand pointing his direction.
He would absolutely do it. He would just try to knock me out so then he could say that he won by forfeit.
You know, they can't get you if it was an accident.
Uh-huh.
So if
See,
you slug a racket
accident.
and did actually knock somebody out, would you actually win by forfeit
Um,
if they wasn't medically able to play?
I'd hope so, but if I slung my racket at someone, I'd probably get kicked off the team.
we're gonna corrupt this young lady's mind. We need to hush up.
Gosh, I'm gonna end up swinging my racket at someone next year.
See what you done, Mark.
She'll
So
start calling the outs and slinging rackets and
Y'all are bad
everything now.
influences.
you
Hey,
gotta watch it.
hey, Taylor, it took you about 5 minutes to figure that out. I've been saying that about Edward my whole life. He's a bad influence. I mean, Olivia here, she's a perfect little angel. Took her about 10 minutes for Edward just to corrupt her mind. So, I mean, I'm just telling you, Edward has that little mojo with him.
I'm pretty sure you was the one that said that you call everybody's shot out. I just said throwing a racket at somebody.
Right here, right here, it's fact.
Listen, April.
Edward is a bad influence. But now
Listen,
this
April.
but this young lady right here said Tay is too humble. Yeah, she's probably too humble to ever be an Edward. Don't be an Edward, Taylor. Don't be an Edward.
Don't worry, I wouldn't throw my racket at someone on purpose.
So I gotta ask you, what's been the longest tennis game you've been in?
One time, actually, I don't think it was during the tennis season. I think it was actually at like a tournament. But I played this one girl and we went on for like ever. You know deuces? Like whenever you both get to 40-40, it goes to deuce. And say I'm playing one girl and I get a ball out, I'd go over and say at out. But if I get the ball in, we'd go back to deuce. We've done that for so long one time. It was terrible. It was very hot too.
So I heard you talking about like if it sprinkles, you all play, but if it rains, you stop. So do they pick the game back up like after like the next day or something, or do they just call that game a tie draw that they cancel the game? How does that work?
Honestly, it's never happened to me, but I think they just call the game and give it to whoever had the most points.
Makes sense.
Mhm.
So I got to ask you about your practices. Like, how does your practices work, and how long do you all normally practice a day? Each day.
Okay. During the tennis season, we practice like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday. And whenever we get to practice, we'll run 3 laps. We'll walk 1. We'll do our exercises, our warm ups, and then we'll like pair off against people we're equally matched to, and then we'll like play them in a real set. Because the best way you can get better is playing sets.
Did you say you run like 3 laps?
Like around 2 courts.
Oh, well, I'm done already out there. If I have to do much running at all, I'm gonna fall over. So I'm out on that part. So I'm gonna have to ask you a
what?
I'm gonna have to ask you a Ryan question since he ain't chimed in yet. So there's not a whole lot to choose from in our area, but in the Bell County area, what would you consider your favorite place to eat at?
Okay, we got this place called La Esperanza. It's my most favorite place. Mexican is.
There's Mexican back on the train again today.
Is it Taco Casa? Is that the? Why am I thinking Taco Casa? Is that the name of it?
Yeah,
that
right
one's
across from the high school.
Yeah, that's like the greatest place ever. And I don't even like refried beans, but every time I go to that place, I want some refried beans on my burrito. It's just something about refried beans in that place. Taylor, am I right? Or am I just completely off?
Personally, I don't like Taco Casa, but I can say you're right.
I thought everybody liked Taco Casa. Oh.
But Olivia, Mark, before I show her a few things we put together for her.
Olivia, you got anything else for her?
I do have a question. We was talking about earlier how you said when it rains too much, you'll stop a game. Has there ever been a time that it was too hot to play and there was like a risk of like heat strokes or something?
Okay, once again, it wasn't during the tennis season, but it was at a tournament. It was so hot. I almost had a heat stroke, but I didn't, so it's okay. They should have called the game, but they didn't.
Okay, so it can get called for. You think if it was hot enough, they would call it? Because we've had when I was in elementary school, we had like a field day, which is totally opposite. And it got too hot, and there was like 3 kids that passed out, and we would all the teachers was like, everybody just get back in school. We'll pick it up on a cooler day.
Maybe if there were like multiple people having problems, but
Yeah.
other than that, I don't think that they would call it, which is bad for us actually.
Yeah. Mark?
I just spilled my coffee everywhere. Yeah, it's everywhere. I can't pick that cup up right now. Taylor, I got occupied on coffee, but I gotta give you credit. You've absolutely killed this interview. You brought it tonight. You laughed. You did all the giggles with us, and I love that because that just shows what kind of a person you are. I mean, you get it. It's good to laugh every now and then, and you understand it. So thank you for that. But coming in here and giggling with us a little bit. But just keep on keeping on what you're doing, and we're absolutely going to have to bring you back on, and even their guests from last week too. We'll have to bring you both on at the same time. Just have a 1 hour just laughs or something like that. We'll talk about everything.
You bring us on, I'm up for it.
Okay, we'll definitely hold you through that. But again, thank you for your time, and just keep on keeping on. You're making a lot of people proud.
Thank you for having me.
So we do tend to make a couple graphics for each student athlete that comes on our show, and this is kind of our way of saying thank you for taking your time to come on and listen to me and Mark ramble on for a little bit. And Olivia's the only one who's got any sense around here on the show, so
I believe that.
But well, yeah, see, been on here for 20 minutes and already knows it. But if there's anything that I can do to personally try to help promote you to get to that next level, please feel free to reach out to me and let me know, whether it's some kind of personal accomplishment you've done, milestone you've set, anything like that. Please have, somebody reach out to me and let me know that. And the graphics I'm getting ready to show you, I will send them to you, and they will also be posted on all of our social media sites also. But Mark disappeared on this because he's afraid number 2 is not going to get said. So, out of the 2, just tell us which one you like the most.
That one's nice. I think I like the first one better, maybe.
See, that's why he left. He didn't want to get his heart broken out there at the end.
The second one's amazing too.
But I do personally want to thank you for taking your time to come on, and from everything that I've got told and I've seen, you're killing it. Just keep doing what you're doing.
I want to thank you again for having me.
No problem. I'm looking forward to bringing you back on again and see.
I knew she was going to pick them. I knew she was going to pick them. And oh, by the way, I was like cleaning up 2 cups of coffee that was poured up under 2 laptops here. Yeah.
You can't say Edward's a bad influence when you're spilling coffee everywhere, Mark.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah. Olivia's going to shut us down. She comes with the truth bombs here. Yeah. See, Edwards weren't me now. I was a good guy. Now Edwards weren't me.
But
by the way, did you see this up here, Olivia? This is what I got to show you right here.
Listen, if I hadn't known April for 107 years, but
April is more like a mud tire. She's like a mud tire.
But again, she ain't got to meet you yet, so I, wait till the next time. But Taylor, I do want to thank you for taking your time to come on, and looking forward to having you back on again.
Me too.
Soon.
I look forward to coming back.
Look forward to having you.
I do appreciate you.
Great interview. She's a great. I'm losing words. What is it called?
Just great interview.
Brain fog. I can't think of the simplest word. What's it called? Guest.
Student athlete. Yeah,
great guest.
Now, speaking of guests, the next 2 guests, we actually had a great interview with them. If I ain't mistaken, it was Saturday. So you ready to bring them on?
We're ready.
So first off, thank y'all for taking your time to come on and listen to Mark ramble on again.
You're welcome.
So I've got to start out asking you. Saturday it looked like y'all, brought the thunder up there with you. So I got to ask you, what was your thoughts about that whole tournament up there?
Pretty much we had high energy throughout the whole entire day, and just keeping that high energy is what helped us win all 3 of those games.
It was top like competition, but like we pushed through it, and again the high energy made us compete more.
Talking about top competition, how y'all played that last game? I have to give you props for that because I think you went 9 innings, back and forth battle against Harrison County, and then how you all was capable of going and competing that next game. Listen, I'd have been fell over on a bench, concrete somewhere sleeping. But Olivia, Mark,
Olivia.
Do you guys have like a favorite part about the sport you play? Like, is there
my favorite part is just the bonds that I make with my teammates, and that these special bonds create friendships outside of softball too.
I would say the same thing. My teammates, I love them all, and like during like the softball games, we're all like a big family, like cheering everyone on. That's like my favorite part.
I asked the last girl that we had on this, but do you have like a proudest moment that you've had in your softball playing career, I guess.
I would say my perfect game I pitched. I feel like that would be my greatest accomplishment.
Um, I would say my greatest accomplishment in softball is just probably 2 years ago when I hit 2 home runs in one game.
I don't
Mark?
know if I could hit 2 home runs in 5 years. So I mean, that's a major accomplishment.
I haven't hit one since my sophomore year. So.
Uh, I first off got to ask you after covering, we stayed, I think, for 4 games. After I left there, the next day I looked like a strawberry on my head there. So, was you as sunburned as I was?
Yes, I had a farmer's tan. It was so bad.
I got burnt really bad on my scalp,
Oh
and I
yeah,
found that
same.
out when I took a hot shower. My scalp started burning really bad.
So, so do you have any advice for our guests on major sunburns? Because what I did, of course, that next day, showering, I come out of the shower, I forgot that I was sunburned. I take a towel, I'm doing like this. I was like, ah, then I realized I'm sunburned. I rub myself about half raw.
Aloe, lots
Yeah,
of aloe,
aloe.
lots of it.
Well, I'll remember that next time. Remember that, Edward, aloe. Don't
Hot
Yep.
take me
coffee
there.
works too, Mark.
What?
Hot coffee works too.
Oh, well, okay. So that leads me to the second question. Do you drink coffee? And if you do, would it be hot or would it be cold?
I drink
I,
coffee like every morning, and I would do cold, like iced coffee.
I do cold coffee.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So neither one of you drink hot coffee.
Mm-mm.
Does
No,
anybody does anybody drink hot coffee anymore other than just us old guys?
I
I
like hot
mean,
coffee. It's like in the middle though.
I mean,
I
I have a
Thank
switch it
you,
up
couple.
every
Olivia.
once in a while.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have a couple friends that'll drink hot coffee once in a while, but it's kind of rare.
Yeah.
So so can we call cold coffee, or is it just a coffee flavored drink?
We
I
could
call
still
it
call it
iced
cold coffee.
coffee. Yeah.
Well, it's
Well,
still
yeah, iced
it's
coffee.
still made of coffee. It's not a different. It's not a different drink. It's still coffee. It's just got some ice in it.
I mean, you might be a little watered down from the ice, but I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, still coffee.
See, hey, I'm just getting old. They just don't.
So
Yeah, I'm just.
I got to ask you about the iced coffee. You know, when I have to get one for my wife or my mother-in-law, they like that. What is it? The sweet cold foam or whatever it is on top of it. Do y'all have to get that
that's what
too?
I get.
I
Yes.
sometimes get it.
I just put cream and sugar in my coffee. Put me some Maxwell House in the pot. Throw me a little cream and sugar. I'm good to go. Good to go. I don't have to have all that special stuff. And yeah,
So
it's
you can do that
eventually,
too, but take you some ice cubes in it next time, and you'll have iced Maxwell House.
if coffee sits out long enough, it'll get cold anyway.
True.
Yeah.
Ah, somebody agreed with me. Ha ha. Uh, hey, so back on that game that ever brought up, and maybe the most longest softball game I've ever seen. I got a very short memory bank. I think I've watched longer baseball games, but as far as softball, it was just back and forth, back and forth. How? I know you girls ain't nervous. They're athletes. They're top competitors. But just how do you keep the composure in and after in? And because they was so many times they're like, oh well, they got. Oh no, they got it. And they were doing a lot of back and forth walking, and like neither team was quitting. How do you keep your composure?
We just want to compete. Like we just want to win, and that just keeps on like going through the innings.
Hmm. Yeah, like I said before, with our high energy, we didn't let up. We didn't we kept our high energy the same. We kept competing throughout the whole entire time. We we were nowhere near giving up that game.
Mm-mm.
Well, that was obvious, but was there a point at that game that maybe again, when you get old like me, you reflect on a lot of stuff, but was there maybe a point at that game that you took a minute, and I know you're competing, you're wanting to win, but you're like, this is two of the best teams in the state, and this is what this sport's about. Two of the best going at it. Rocky Balboa, you'd hit up a haymaker, they'd come back hit you, you'd hit them. Uh, I I mean, was that moment that you was reflecting on that? This is what it's about.
Most definitely. Again, the energy and everything, that's what kept on like going back and forth. My heart was definitely like pumping and everything. I was like a little nervous, but obviously like I wanted to compete.
Yeah. I remember I was running, I was on third base. It was bases loaded and everything. My heart was beating so fast cuz like I could be the winning run or something like that. Um it was just such an exciting game.
So, it's both give me your thoughts about this. The whole overtime rule. I guess Edward, you probably help me out with this international rules. That where the runner starts at second base. Are you a fan of that or not a fan of
Mm.
It the,
I guess I'm a fan because it evens out the playing field because like it's overtime, so it kind of like I don't know, it shortens the innings up kind of, but
yeah.
that?
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm a fan of it whenever we have somebody on second, but like then I go back onto the field and I realize they have to start out with somebody on second. I'm just like, I don't like this no more.
But being a pitcher, and I believe that game going into extra innings might have been 2-2. So the ERA, I know none of the ends ain't worried about stats. They're worried about team wins and stuff like that. But when you get mine Edwards' age, we're worried about stats. We're looking at these stats, and then all of a sudden, a pitcher goes from giving up 2 runs and pitch one heck of a ball game. To all of a sudden, you're like, that pitcher's gave up 10 runs over here. Because the runners starting in second base, they're the scoring percentage there is up probably 9% that person's going to score. So, I mean, on that aspect of stuff, is that like shorthanding the pitcher to a point, or am I making sense? I mean, do you think as far as taking away from what that they was doing,
repeat that question. I did not understand that.
like if
So,
you're okay, go ahead, Edward, explain that. Where I'm going at there.
so I think what you was talking about is going from having a very low, ERA in the game to the extra innings allowing to get 7 more points put on, bumping that ERA up. How does that affect
Yeah,
anybody?
yeah,
I don't really like look at my stats because I just want the team win. It's all about like the team. I don't really like look at my stats and everything. And I know like they're scoring, but also like we're scoring, and I just have to like keep them to I guess like scoreless.
absolutely. And I figured that's how it was. It was just all let's get the win for the team and stuff like that. But me, as greedy as I am, I would be mad. It's like, oh, they gave up 2 runs this game, and all of a sudden, this rule here, you're putting runners on second base, and one walk and they can score. It's just like, come on, man, I pitched a great game. But I would
Yeah.
be like that. I would gripe. But
Well, you talking about great game, Hannah also had 11 strikeouts in that game.
and
And
she and in that kind of heat. And if Hannah, quote me if I'm wrong here, but for most part of that game, that wind was blowing outward too. So if somebody would have got
Yeah.
a fly ball on you, the chances of a home run would have been there.
Yeah, you're correct. It was blowing out a little bit.
So yeah,
and
yeah,
then
very good performance.
from the
Thank
stats
you.
I'm looking at, player also went 2 for 3 at bat and also had an RBI in that game. So that they put up some pretty good numbers against one of the top teams in the state too. So
That's what I was saying. I mean, I was watching the game, and that's the reason why I asked him how their reflections was, because I know my reflection was this is two of the best teams in the state, and these girls on either side ain't giving up, and it was a good game for like old folks like me and you to watch. It
absolutely. So I got to ask you, you had two different styles of games up there. You have one where you just blew a team out at like the very beginning inning and beat them 20-0. Then you had another game where you went 9 innings back and forth. So which style game do you prefer?
The second game, it's way more exciting.
Yeah.
That's what like you play softball for, is for the exciting games.
Yep, I agree.
And so I think I would like the more, if I'm playing, I think I'd like the more blowing them out. That way I can get home quicker. I don't have to exert myself as much. But no, I agree. When the sports I played, I like closer games myself. I don't like, I like back and forth battles. So do
Yeah.
you prefer a
Funner
more
to watch
cool
too.
style game? Absolutely. Do you prefer more cool style games, or do you prefer it to be like the temperature we had Saturday?
I can't really pitch when it's like really cold because it's like it hurts to spin the ball off my fingers. So I prefer it to be hotter.
Um, I like it a little in between.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
just so I'm not like too hot, too cold, just right. And I'm not like sweating a whole bunch either.
So my biggest question I got to ask you is I got to ask you about the dugout. Don't think there's ever a moment that there wasn't a chant going. So I got to ask you about that. Is that something y'all practice, or is that just something that just y'all just do?
We just do it. We like from the very beginning we like start the cheers. So we've basically been just practicing the whole season.
Yeah. From the
So
start of the game, from the end to the game, high energy the whole entire time. I mean, there might be a couple moments here and there where we're not as high up as we were in the beginning, but we will still keep that energy though.
has there ever been a time that somebody like wanted to get like the one of them buckets and use it for a drum set?
I think we
Um,
had those one year.
yeah, we did, but I think a couple umpires told us to stop doing it. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we just stopped doing it
Yeah.
altogether.
So I got to ask you, who do you consider your biggest rival that y'all play?
Assumption or Ballard.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, our school rival is Manual,
Yeah.
but it's not as but like I feel like we just butt heads with Ballard and Assumption the most,
Yeah.
and those are usually more exciting games.
So I do got to ask you, has there ever been a game? Because you played out in the outfield. Has there ever been a game that you've just jumped over the fence to catch a ball?
I might be a little too short to jump and catch the ball from the fence.
well, if they're jumping
I do
over
have
that,
hops.
if they're jumping over that fence there at Tate's Creek, then yeah, they should be considered basketballers up, but
High
that's a
jump.
yeah, or high jump, right, Olivia. Yeah, that's a
I
high fence
mean,
over there.
Yeah,
that's a very high fence.
I've never been
Have you ever
able.
seen somebody flip over the fence trying to catch it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like on shorter fences, I've done that before. It kind of hurt my arm though, but like on a travel team, I've done that before.
So I do got to ask you because if it's me, I would lose track of where the fence is half the time. So how many times have you been trying to run after a ball and forget that the fence was actually there?
Um, I actually did that against the Harrison County game because I caught the ball and I ended up like running into the fence. I mean, I just bounced right off of it, thank God. the fence wasn't hard or nothing, but I did run into that fence though.
Well, it looked like to me you was just like close to the fence, but I mean I
Well,
don't
like
know if
I
it'd been me. I'd have hit the ground flopping around. I'd have pointed at Mark, said it was his fault.
He would have. He would have.
well like with when it comes to like if we're near the fence, most of the time our teammates will yell fence, 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 or we'll just feel the warning track rocks.
So before I get you back over to Olivia and Mark, I got to ask you: do you prefer turf or do you prefer the old-fashioned dirt grass fields?
I like dirt better because I mean we practice on dirt, so I'm more used to dirt than turf because the ball bounces way higher. I'm just not used to it.
Yeah, I agree. And if you dive on turf, you can get turf burn, and I do not like that feeling at all. It burns so bad.
So note to self: never dive on turf.
Yeah.
But Olivia, Mark,
Olivia.
Just good job this year. Everybody's rooting for you here and at home. It's good to see that you guys are putting so much effort in the sport that you love doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Um, I wanna ask you, and they call me Mister Hard Hitter, and I can't let you leave until I ask you like the hard hit question. Are you ready for this? Got like your
Yeah.
game face on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eh, So how well you think you know your teammates?
Pretty
No,
good.
no, I'm pretty
I
good.
say we know each other pretty good. I mean,
Okay,
we've gotten
okay,
really close this year.
okay. So you can't include coaches or parents,
Mhm.
but you're all in a 15 passenger van together. Okay, and the van tears up. Who's going to fix it?
Lily.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's say Lily.
So she's going to say, "Hand me the sockets and the screwdriver. I'll get out there and fix it." Which,
Yeah,
which,
she got
which you
it.
get?
Yeah.
She pumped up my tire one time.
So rain or shine, it didn't matter. She get out there.
Yeah,
Okay.
Lily got that.
Okay. So Lily fixes the van in the cold rain. So then you get the van going, and then you look at you're running out of gas, and you pull into a gas station. Who's going to pay for the gas?
Ooh. Uh,
Who is gonna? Who has a job? Me. I'll pay for it.
Well, everywhere I go with Edward, he's got a pocket full of money. He won't offer a dollar. Won't even offer a dollar. So
you're
so so
forgetting to
thank you.
tell them we're using my vehicle.
Well, that don't matter. Does that matter? Shouldn't he still have to put in on the gas?
Should who put on the gas?
Should Edward help share on gas, even if it is his vehicle?
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
I had to pay. I had to pay for the tires that we're using to drive on. You split me on those.
you could. Well, yeah, you could split up on the tires and the gas.
Yeah.
Equal, equal.
There
Okay,
you go.
last but not least of these hard hitting questions is I'll go back to a teammate's house and want to do like some Netflix and chill. Who's going to fix dinner that night?
Ooh, who can cook on our team?
No.
And no door dashing either. No door dash.
Ooh. Um. I wouldn't say me because I'm a terrible cook.
I mean, all I know how to cook is noodles for real.
Yeah, ramen noodles and grilled cheese.
I mean, I
Hey,
know how to
hey,
air fry a couple things. We could put some in the air fryer.
Yeah.
Well, you as well make the ramen noodles and grilled cheese. You can't go wrong with that. Chicken or the beef or the shrimp, it's
Loki,
all the same. Yeah.
I think Jayla could cook.
Maybe, yeah.
I feel like I feel like she can cook. I don't know.
I have no clue if
I
she
really
can or
don't
not.
know who can cook. I mean,
Well, you ain't gonna go wrong with ramen noodles. I eat them about 3 times a week. The chicken or
never.
the beef. Sometimes I feel rich. I'll put a little broccoli in it. You can't go wrong with any of that stuff right there. But I want to make this comment though, as far as you talked about some of the teams you played. Now they ever have you. Uh, I've seen a lot of softball this year, and when you're talking about a team that you have played at Assumption, I've seen them firsthand also, like I've seen Jens firsthand. Again, I've watched a lot of softball. I will tell you, by complete honesty, Jens can win a state title. It's there for Jens to take. They're very talented. It's there for you to take, and I like what your team's doing. Keep on keeping on. Go get that hardware.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Absolutely. So my final question for I show you a few things we put together for you is what would you consider your favorite all-time memory in softball?
Mm.
Is this like all time or like just like male, like with our high school
All time.
all
It can go
time?
all the way back to being, 3-year-old and out in the yard hitting a softball and you throw it through your mom's window like Mark
Being
did when we was kids.
being interviewed by a couple of old guys last week at 170-degree heat.
I'm gonna say from like this season when we beat Assumption because we lost to Assumption 3 times last season. So
Oh
it was
yeah,
a great game this
that
season when
yeah.
we beat
I
them.
was really pumped up winning that game.
Yes.
I agree with that. I
So
would just say like any walk off game that we've had,
Yeah.
it was just is so exciting to me.
I agree. So I got one more question. I forgot about this, and since we got a pitcher on here, if I'm pitching and I hit every batter that's coming up, is that still considered a no hitter?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
it, is it a no hitter or would it lead to ever getting arrested?
You might get kicked out of the game, but it's a no hitter.
See,
I
I
mean,
always said that nobody ever hit it. So I mean, how could it be considered I get
after a
hit?
parent watched his daughter get hit about 5 times in one game, I mean, wouldn't the parent probably get mad by then or something?
Probably they'll probably be screaming.
Especially if it was Edward.
Drew, I get screamed at enough as it is.
You forgot to ask the Ron question. We know that they
Oh,
live in a little bit more bigger area than what we do down here in the mountains of southeastern Kentucky. They live in a little bit bigger area.
so in the Louisville area, what would you consider your favorite restaurant to eat at?
Texas Roadhouse.
Drake.
Texas-
She answered that quick.
Mine is Drake's. I mean, I work there too, so I'm a little biased, but
But we've
Ain't
actually
nothing
got
wrong with a little bias.
we
nothing
got
wrong with
Texas
that.
Roadhouse in London though. Can't go wrong with Texas Roadhouse. The rolls.
It's my
Rolls are
favorite.
the best part.
With the cinnamon
Those
butter.
those free
Oh
rolls.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we do tend to put together a few graphics for each student athlete that does come on our show. This is kind of our way of saying thank you for taking your time to come on, and I have no idea what you're doing, Mark.
That's supposed to be lightning. You'll understand it here in a few minutes.
It's what he did last time. You should have remembered coming through the.
Yeah.
I,
Or it could
I just
be.
thought his Alzheimer's was kicking in or something.
It might be that too. The shakes there.
some timers, old timers. I don't know what he's got, but he's got some issues over
Something.
there. But see, I done lost where I was even at. I don't even remember what I was doing then.
So you just saw the
But how the
lightning in
two
the
gra-
sky.
I think you were talking about graphics.
Well, see, I'm glad somebody reminded me. But
You're
out of the two
welcome.
graphics we made, I'm gonna show you the first one first, and then the second one next. So just tell us which one of the two you like the most.
I think I like the first one of mine.
I kind of like the lightning bolts. I'll do it with the
Yes!
lightning bolts.
But would you consider whatever that being? I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if that's lightning bolts, Mark.
I think he's trying to do. I think he's having a poor attempt at sign language or something.
All of a sudden, I'm starting to think of like Ezra Scissorhand. That's probably
Listen, I
or
don't have a
maybe
clue what that's
or maybe
doing, but that
Freddy
is
Krueger or something. I don't know.
that's a very poor attempt of doing finger lightning bolts. But first off, I do want to thank you for taking your time to come on, and from everything getting the coverings. These last couple seasons, we've got to see and play some good games, and like Mark said, from everything that we've seen, the teams that we've got to cover this year, you all for sure can bring the hardware home. You just got to do what you did Saturday. Just don't quit, and just be the better team out there on the field, which I know y'all can do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
no problem. I sure do appreciations for coming on and getting to see
I-
Mark's poor attempt at lightning bolts.
Actually, the true story. I don't know if Edward had told you on the interview or anything, but last year at the Tates Creek Showdown, your team, your fan base, your families and stuff, you all won us over. I mean, it's of course when you think of Louisville Bell, you think big city school, but all you just have warm hearts and you like your small town, good hearted people, and you just won us over last year. Your fan base, your family, your coaches, and it's hard not to be a fan of yours.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Olivia, you got anything before we let them go?
No, just keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I will get these sent over to you, and they will be posted on all of our social media sites. But again, thank you for coming on. And there's only, I think, 3 things left to do now. I believe win district, region, then go win state.
Yeah.
That's the only things left to do now.
And drove me and Edward the good chocolate candies. Okay, I like the little peppermint ones. Throw them somewhere else.
Okay. Keep that in mind.
But again, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Thank
Thank
you.
you for having us.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good interview. Good interview.
Real good interviews.
Absolutely. Today, we've had a couple great interviews tonight, and only over by about 10 minutes today. But
And Olivia,
any final
I
thoughts?
gotta give you props. You're getting better each and every
Yeah.
show. You're getting better,
Thank
and
you.
I knew this was going to come from you, and this is why me and Edward want you on so bad. And I'm telling you, you've got a talent for this. Whatever your future does lead you a podcast, or whatever you might decide to do on down the road, you've got the ability. You've got it. You got the charisma, you got the voice, you've got everything you need to be really, really good at this business. I'm not saying that. I've seen a lot in this business.
Thank you.
We can do like Olivia's Tuesday night SmackDown or something.
Yeah. There's definitely going to be more offers flying her way after what is that, the down, what they call it, where nobody has sports, a month of no sports. It's like
Dead
Dead
period or
period.
a
something.
dead period
Yeah.
when we do our meetings. Yeah, we'll definitely probably offer her some more stuff to do. Olivia's like, I got enough on my plate. Yeah.
But all good things must come to an end. But I'm gonna do y'all have any final thoughts?
Olivia.
Great interviews. We got so many talented people in the state. We've got a lot of it's really motivating too to see how hard people work at these things because they want to do the best they can. It's even if it's a completely different sport, it's still so motivating to see everybody's trying so hard. It just kind of puts me in a state of mind that other people really, really try and make themselves better. It makes me want to be better. And it's just good seeing everybody trying to be the best they can be.
Well worded. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And you're a motivation to a lot of people too, Olivia. And don't ever forget that for the work that you put in. But again, thank you for coming on, Olivia. Again, Edward, thank you for coming on. You're a pinpoint on these shows. You put together good shows. You put together good work, good graphics, and we see it all the time. Schools pull your stuff up all the time, and absolutely, and just it's a pleasure working with both of you.
Absolutely. And first off, I want to thank you for taking your time to come on and help out with the show. And Olivia, anytime you want to come on, feel free. Even if you have a guest in mind, feel free to let Mark know, let me know. One of us will reach out to them and try to get them on. And but like Mark said, you're killing it week in, week out. You're getting better, so we can always put a Tuesday, a Thursday, a Monday, Saturday show. I mean, anytime you want to do that Olivia's Saturday or Tuesday night SmackDown, we got that.
Okay.
We'll hook you up.
I've got so many names I could name her show right now. We could do these fancy cartoon graphics for and stuff. Yeah, we could Amber could deck it out for you.
Just do a little video with bobbleheads.
That would be great.
But I'm gonna leave you like I always do. These student athletes that they put in the work from no matter what sport it is, you see the hard work, the dedication they put in, and they'd love to see their stadiums, they just love to see their stands packed. So please get out there and go cover these student athletes. They'd love to hear you cheering for them. But from everybody here at the Bryant Family Medicine All Sports Media, we want to tell you good night and God bless.
Good night.